Hi, everyone. Thank you for staying tuned. We are here. Let me just. We're here live with Derek Haney, who is the head of demand generation at Pipe17. Today, Derek is going to share tips to unlocking new marketplace opportunities and how to successfully launch on TikTok Shop, Shein, Temu, Target Plus, and more. So I'll pass it over to you, Derek. Get started.
Awesome, cool. I'll hit the share screen button somewhere around here, I suppose. Um, and we'll get started. I wanted to start a little esoterically. I recently wrote an article called "Is D2C Dying and the Rise of Marketplaces?" And what I've realized, since the beginning of e-commerce, things are changing so quickly, we forget kind of why they're changing. And so I wanted to start with this kind of evolutionary stage of e-commerce. If you just think back um, to the rise of the internet, that was when e-commerce was basically allowed to be born, right? Where you could buy things online because you have to have the internet in place. Then we also have the rise of social media networks. Without social media networks, we would not really have probably seen this movement towards direct to consumer, right? Because that's where a lot of the direct to consumer business came from. So you could argue largely that like Shopify, one of the most successful e-commerce platforms, rose off of the back of Facebook. And if you actually look at it, Facebook and Shopify stocks are often tied together in ups and downs. You can map them together. They have very high correlation in the stock market. And that's because when Facebook is doing well, Shopify brands are going to do better. And most notably, when Facebook reached advertising saturation, right, it became harder and harder for e-commerce brands to continue this direct-to-consumer marketing play. And in fact, they're fighting in bloodier and bloodier oceans. Shopify is making it easier for more and more e-commerce entrepreneurs to enter the game. And as saturation increases, profit margins decrease, and everyone's fighting over the scraps. Insert marketplaces. Of course, Amazon being the biggest and the longest around, but there's so many more marketplaces that we'll be discussing a few of them today. And marketplaces are now considered, I would say, new channel advertising opportunities that in many cases are not as saturated as using the other model, which was a direct to consumer advertising model going to Shopify. And so D2C in a lot of ways is dying in the sense that most e-commerce businesses, even if they start direct to consumer, are going to have to move into an omni-channel commerce strategy. And so if you look at it from a percentage of overall business revenue, right? Because we're all businesses here at the end of the day, you should expect direct to consumer to no longer be 90 or 100%, shouldn't even be 80 or 70%. It could even be less than 50% for most e-commerce brands moving forward. So that's why I asked the question, is D2C dying? And what the rise of e-commerce marketplaces mean for us today. It's my long-winded answer for you. I'm Derek Haney, head of demand gen at Pipe17. I am also known as the tools guy. I sold a company called e-commerce tech a year or so ago, where I demoed a lot of technology products. I was in-house at Gorgeous. I've ran a digital marketing advertising agency for Facebook ads, and before they were called Meta ads. I've advised multiple companies, sold a few, yada yada. Let's get into the best current marketplace opportunity by far. And of course, we've got our hosts here at Ship Bob, which is fulfilled by TikTok. If you didn't know, the cat's out of the bag, guys. I think it was a secret like a few months ago, but I think everybody knows now. TikTok has grown to, in the last 9 months, to be 2% of US e-com sales. It'll probably be 4%. It'll probably do $14 billion this year in revenue. So what are you going to be on this emerging channel, or are you going to wait, for the dust to settle and jump in, like when it's a red ocean, like we were just talking about, when the marketplace is saturated and you're fighting over the scraps? All right, so this is kind of my main pitch to you is to start today. And you'd be surprised what types of brands can really succeed there. It really can be across the board. I have an article here. I can link it in the comments. Actually, I'll link you guys this one here on the rise of D2C marketplaces. And from there, you can find the why TikTok is not going to get banned. I'll just spell it out for you. There's way too much money here for this to get banned in the United States. They'll figure out how to divest. So this is a blue ocean opportunity. 1/3 of people on the platform, which is like 33 million users, will buy using TikTok Shop this year. They did 349 million that was their 5th month live in the US market. There's over 31,000 shops on TikTok right now. And that's actually a good number for you. That means that it's proven, tried and true, but it's not a million. It's not Amazon, right? So it's not overly saturated, which means your category could still have a lot of opportunity, a lot of blue ocean. Here's how it works in TikTok Shop. So products are now discovered through scrolling your feed, whether it's a live or a pre-recorded video. They can click on the product right there at the in the middle. It takes them to add to cart screen. They see the amount. They hit buy now. If they've already entered their payment information and shipping information, I actually did this today. I bought something on TikTok Shop. Then they just hit buy. They don't even have to enter that information after they've done it once time. So the checkout is super streamlined, which is really important. A lot of the post-purchase and order tracking is also managed there. So you can sell with live shopping, shoppable videos, your own store page, which is essentially attached to your brand page. And then actually there is now product discovery options, which means you will show up at the bottom of other related products in your category, including competitors or complementary products. So the thing to know for direct-to-consumer brands, possibly on Shopify, we did a little study in our own analysis. TikTok Shop, often the order volume is between $40 and $50. It could even be as low as $20 to $30. Very important to consider what products you're going to be placing there and how this impacts your margin, because obviously Shopify is more in the $80 to $110 average range. People are buying because it's impulsive more than like thoughtful. It's discovery more than renewal, right? So meaning that that they're going to scroll across and go, oh, I didn't know I needed that. They're not scrolling TikTok to find their next razor blade or shampoo or something like that. Now, if it's a new type of shampoo that helps with bleached blonde hair and defrizzing, or it's better for curly hair, then there's discovery aspects to it. But it's not like a generic, straightforward type solution, right? It's something novel. You have live shopping, you have your product catalog. And then, of course, when you're selling on TikTok Shop, the audience is built into it, where Shopify, you have to drive the traffic over. So the question is, if I'm running TikTok ads, should I have a TikTok Shop? The answer is 1000% yes. You should not be running a TikTok ad back to a direct-to-consumer store. That needs to stop immediately. Everyone doing that is throwing away, in our estimates, 33% in revenue. So you can see these two peaks here during Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Shopify volume increased by 222%. TikTok Shop sales increased by 318%, which leads me to believe average conversion rates are much, much higher on TikTok Shop. A really quick success story from Wise, which is a Pipe17 customer. Within their first 60 days, they made $1 million in revenue. They're now doing well over that monthly. They made $100K with their first viral video, and they're plugged into the TikTok affiliate network, which makes it really, really easy for affiliates to tag and link to their products. And the affiliate commissions are all handled on the back end. It's a really brilliant way to get other people to create content for you, go viral, etc. And it's at no risk to you because you only pay them when people purchase. Okay, so that's my pitch on TikTok Shop. Let's talk about a couple other marketplaces. Well, I have let's see, how much time left? 6 minutes, holy crap. Shein launched their marketplace opportunity in May 2023. They've been open since 2008. They are bigger than Nike, H&M, Adidas, and Zara. They have over 238 million app downloads globally, 17 million users in the US. If you are in fast fashion, you need to be thinking about Shein. That's basically the end of the story here. They're super micro-influenced or focused, super Gen Z focused, and it can be a great way for you to move out liquidation items, overstocked items, or if you're really trying to be proactive, get on the trend, find the trendy items and get them in the market before everyone else. Temu, yay. Temu launched their US marketplace in March 2024. I would say everyone is very bearish on this. That's the bad. Bullish is good. Bearish is bad. They have 100,000 active sellers in China, but the way that they've launched the US is essentially to empower Chinese sellers to create warehouses and inventory stores in the US to better sell and move product in the US. But what I will say is that there's 85 million active users in the US. That's a lot. It's about a third. They have insanely quick delivery. I also want to tell you the shirt I'm wearing, I bought off of Temu. I bought 4 shirts, 4 workout shirts, 4 pairs of shorts, 4 hats, 4 pairs of socks, and a pair of glasses for under $100 on Temu. So there's actually a lot of value on this channel for, let's call it cheap goods. But hey, it looks pretty good, right? And I told Meg, like, there's a reason I'm wearing this shirt instead of my usual flowery one. This is it, Meg. So it's not the greatest shirt I've ever worn, but it's comfortable and it works all right. So when you have a cheaper, lower quality product, electronics, home goods, and yes, clothing and apparel are also there. If you feel you can undercut Amazon's prices, or you're doing well in competitive spaces on Amazon, competing specifically on price, then you may want to launch and move over to Temu. Take a look at that. One thing I want to say about Temu, because I signed up for it recently, I got hit with 4 spin to wins, and I won every single time. What are the odds? So first, when you're looking at the app, they give you a spin to win. Then it says get it in the app, so you download the app to claim it. When you get into the app, they give you an additional bonus, and then after that, they give you an upsell bonus. So they were like really pushing these like cheapo incentives. Let's just say. And that's the story of Temu and why it's like a double-edged sword. So just be careful. Take it with a grain of salt. Walmart Canada, I wanted to touch on briefly because they recently revamped how they work with US sellers, and it's gotten a lot easier and better to launch on Walmart Canada if you haven't been paying attention in the last 9 to 12 months. So there's $5.2 billion in sales happening in Walmart Canada e-commerce in 2023, 1.5 million daily visitors to the website. If you're on Walmart US and you've saturated that market or you're doing well there, if you're expanding 3PLs to Canada, hey, ShipBob, then you may want to look at Walmart Canada. It can be a really easy, quick win for you. Highly recommend. Nordstrom just launched a marketplace literally 2 months ago. I have no idea what this is going to do for us. Shit, I got 3 minutes. I mean, darn. Okay. They're doing 5 billion in US e-commerce sales. It's a commission-based sales model. They're trying to expand their product lines to test various products with their mixed retail and e-commerce market. The good news here, I've showed you a lot of lower quality marketplaces. They're a little bit more mid to high quality, obviously more in fashion than in other places. And they're probably best for brands that are doing a mixed retail and direct to consumer strategy. So if that's you, then maybe getting into Nordstrom Marketplace will be a stepping stone to getting into Nordstrom directly. So with just a couple minutes left, there's 150 online marketplaces. There's going to be 300 by probably the end of next year, maybe 2-3 years from now. It's only going to expand. The early adopters and getting in these marketplaces as sources of traffic essentially open up the doors for you to tap into that traffic with e-commerce products. That's only going to increase over time. The early adopter is going to make all the money, and the speed to market and being flexible and adaptable is going to be very crucial to you. And that's where Pipe17 comes in. We are an omni-channel order operations hub connecting selling channels to fulfillment centers and back office applications. That's all I really want to talk to you about us. I'm not here to really pitch it, but I just wanted to tell you, if you're trying to get that data back from selling channels into ShipBob, we sometimes help with that using rules and logic to help navigate orders, debundle things, SKUs, getting the right fulfillment center, and kind of navigating that omni-channel landscape. Powered by thousands of customers, yada, yada. You can book a demo with us. I did it in under 15 minutes. I can't believe it. Thank you to the ShipBob team for letting me rant on Omnichannel. Getting a quick plug-in for my company. I'll be here for the next 30 seconds. Who wants to talk?
Okay, it's a countdown to talk to Derek, get your questions in. Of course, also we will have a virtual booth afterwards. So if you have any questions for him, he's not going anywhere, and you can compliment him on his shirt, on his full outfit. Elijah is actually shouting you out as your type of entrepreneur. We love it. Okay, so make sure that you head over to Derek's booth. I think we can call it.
I like this Elijah question. Yeah, obviously you have some limitations on your category for CBD products. I don't know CBD style, and there's also marijuana marketplaces and things like that. I don't know if they're even related. You would know better than me, but yeah, I mean, you'd have to look into those marketplaces. I'd have to imagine there's a good place for you, and I think CBD probably, as long as it's allowed, you just got to check the terms of service for each of these industries. And if it's allowed, you should sell pretty well. So I would be really eager to put those products in as many marketplaces as allowable. Sorry, Meg, I kind of interrupted you. All right, we got to go. Oh, you're muted.
Thanks everyone for joining. We're going to head on to the next session. Like I said, meet him in his virtual booth. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.